Hello Scorpio, Happy New Year to you and welcome to your general tarot card reading for January of 2019. Scorpio, there are following cards in your reading. The reading starts with Two of Cups, then is followed by Tower, Queen of Cups, Ten of Cups, Queen of Swords, Page of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, and lastly King of Swords. So from your reading, what I can see, it's going to be kind of ups and downs. It's all about finding a right balance and kind of things not necessarily running smoothly and some kind of emotional ups and downs. And because you have so many cups in the first row, it's going to indicate some kind of emotional ups and downs, and because you have swords and one card representing pentacle over here, it's indication about your way of thinking, your attitude, how you're going to choose to communicate and deal with things. So without further ado, let's jump to the first card over here, and is Two of Cups. Two of Cups is representing harmony, passion, union. It's representing the heart chakra, an exchange, a love affair, marriage, romance, or romantic endeavor. Also bonding, consolidation, and finding unity. In astrology, it's referring to Virgo, Cancer, and Scorpio. It's also talking about the cooperation and exchanging. This, because there are the cups here as well, this might be talking more or less about the partnership, and there might be different type of partnership. Might be referring to a marriage, to a relationship, but also to business as well. And I have a feeling that for some of you Scorpios, it's going to talk about reconciliation and struggles with that reconciliation, and restoring kind of the balance over here when it comes to relationship, because you have a Tower next to it. And Tower, it's one of those cards that is representing a major changing, challenges, shakeups, some kind of upheaval. It's representing divine intervention quite often. It's talking about destruction of old structures, but also pride and liberation. And in the basic of forms, when it comes to that relationship and this reunion or reconciliation, or coming to some kind of understanding of an agreement, something might just not go as planned. Someone or something going to kind of go pear-shaped, let's put it this way. And it's going to be rather sudden and unexpected change. And this change going to kind of show that whatever has been in the past hasn't worked out. And it's going to kind of expose these false structures, or this kind of longing for something that is not longer conducive to that relationship, and whatever relationship that might be. So things, this Tower is representing the crumbling of things that used to be, might be also representing of necessary letting go of ungrown beliefs and values that you are holding, but also unhealthy relationships and the old ways of life. So the Tower is coming here to kind of free you, to walk in your own path, to enable you to reach to your potential, to allow you to move forward with your life instead of being stagnant. That's for one. And because the Tower has this lightning aspect, is also indicating of having certain amount of clarity within the situation, some kind of sudden realization, kind of ability to see things in a new light, so to speak. Yes, Tower comes as a distraction, and comes as a certain change, but also have this ability to cleanse and liberate, and kind of show you that things that you were hoping or you were thinking that they actually didn't have a right firm foundation nor the footing to sustain whatever you were hoping to build upon it. So it's also going to represent the shedding of the old layers and removing the old in order for the new to come. So it's almost like necessary, like it's going to require some kind of necessary action to be taken place to clear your path for new. And even though it might come as drastical and dramatical change, it's going to kind of free you from sometimes a bondage, sometimes a restriction, and it's going to bear you strip of sometimes false hopes and ideas that you might have regarding your life, and because it's standing next to the Two of Cups, I strongly believe this is in regard to some kind of union, some kind of coming together relationship. So that's what is kind of coming through. And yet again, you have the Queen of Cups next to it, and Queen might be simply representing a person, but also might be representing your attitude or someone who is next to you. And the Queen of Cups, well, what I would say, she's able to offer something. And once again, this might be a peace offering, because the way how she's holding this cup, and the way how she's able to overcome and come whatever, I would say, disruption is caused by this Tower. She's able to overcome this. She's able to bring some kind of soothing element into this entire equation, and to kind of sacrifice or being selfless within that situation. So this is very interesting, and I feel she represents, this Queen in your reading is representing a very positive energy, and actually it's also coming to highlight there is still a possibility for strengthening existing relationship, Scorpio. And because of that, you have next to it 10 of Cups, and 10 in well, it's kind of representing the end of the cycle. It's one of the most uplifting cards in tarot deck. It's representing happiness in general, kind of more mature and grown up outlook. And because of this 10, is representing some kind of accomplishment. So whatever this Queen of Cups is going to come and offer, and whenever there's going to be you, somebody else, or it's going to be your own attitude, but it almost feels like it's coming from somebody else. It's maybe not necessarily coming from you. It's going to ensure that things are going to turn up well. I think it's going to be 10. It's signifying this kind of immense fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. It's also signifying coming together, and it's showing the family setup, the family, the home, marriage, reunion, and fulfillment. I would say mostly it's all about the fulfillment, and some people, they're going to say that 10 of Cups, it's one of those cards that is also representing home and family, and symbolizes the happiness and success. So it might be foretelling actually that there's going to be a lot of things to be joyful and grateful, and it's going to show and symbolize the overall positive and long-term aspirations and dreams coming through in terms of your family life, and indeed it might as well represent just your relationships and family kind of and represent this kind of pleasant and harmonious time that is ahead of you. And then the reading kind of goes into the Queen of Swords. And Queen of Swords, once again, because you have two queens, and they're not really close together, but they're kind of facing together. I would say that it's going to be, for some of you, meaning that, that kind of two things. When two women coming together, there might be something to do with the gossip, but also something to do with two different opinions. So you might be dealing with two different opinions, and because you have so many different court cards over here. So you have the two queens, you have a Page of Swords, and King of Swords is indicating that a lot of people being involved in a situation, and the Queen, it might be indicating your take, you're being pragmatic, you addressing certain things, and you might be addressing somebody else's behavior, because Queen is facing the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is kind of I would say there is some kind of exchange taking place, and if that is to do with within the family setting, is to or in terms of relationship, Queen and Page over here, they are representing a need for addressing certain things, and someone might be apprehensive. Page of Swords, it's kind of, is not sure where he might be standing. He might be a little bit defensive, and Queen of Swords, it's kind of representing the clarity, outlining, explaining things, being very clear, and drawing the boundaries. And I would say the drawing of boundaries, it comes across very strongly over here, to the extent that it's almost, I'm hearing on the way how it's coming through, you kind of laying down the rules, you saying that's how I see it, that's how I would like to move things forward. And the Page of Swords is representing either somebody within your family or within your relationship that it's kind of doesn't really want to play by those rules, and and doesn't feel like the rule is going to apply to him or to her. So this is very interesting. It's almost like you are this kind of more mature, you kind of leading kind of way. That's how I see it. Moreover, what I would say, the Page of Swords might be also indication that sometimes, and might be referring to you, but might be also referring to this other party. This is a general reading, that either you or somebody else is trying too hard, is pushing too fast, is maybe stepping on others people's toes, and maybe is sometimes not aware of how she or he is coming across, and is unable to take a constructive criticism from others. So this is kind of what is coming through when it comes to the Page of Swords. And then we have a Eight of Pentacles, and Eight of Pentacles, it's about getting on with things, being able to meet the expectations, to be talking about perseverance, is indicating the period of very hard work, and kind of mental, I would say, this kind of understanding that certain things, they have to be done, and certain sacrifices, that there is price tag to something, and because you will be prepared to pay for it, you will be prepared to put the hard work into it to get it. And also it's representing dedication and accomplishment, and I think that is also representing striving for a balance as well, and understanding that sometimes, even though we are responsible for certain things in our life, there's also need to take it easy and being able to relax. And your reading is kind of wrapping up with the King of Swords, and kings in general, they're representing completion. And King of Swords it's traditionally is representing and is standing for someone who is powerful, opinionated, sometimes forceful, this person might be not really considering others' feelings before it's going to act. So King of Swords is representing very forceful energy, and sometimes is to realize that you might have, or somebody else in your life might have been this kind of, have a very narrow-minded take. So it's almost all or nothing. And I think the overall reading for you, Scorpio, for January, it's all about negotiating, finding the way, setting up the boundaries, being able to negotiate terms and conditions with other people. And this might be to do with your family, this might be to do with your working career, also the finance. It's ability to have a clarity as to what is it that you want, and find the common grounds with other people as well. So this reading in many aspects is extremely interesting, because it requires of you, for one, being soft and being able to understand others and extend your hand, and take care of others, but equally it's talking about the tough love at the same time, because you have a Queen of Cups and you have a Queen of Swords, and it's the message sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. That is kind of coming through in this reading for you, Scorpio. In terms of what to focus on in January, Scorpio, we have a Queen of Pentacles. I would say the Queen of Pentacles is representing someone who is highly practical, who is able to extend hand, is able to provide you with some kind of support. That might be everything from financial support, good advice, and the know-how. So that's what kind of Queen of Pentacles is here to kind of suggest what you should be focusing on. Also, in terms of additional commentary, we have this rune, and this rune is called Odala. And I think Odala, it's kind of linking to the Two of Cups, the Tower, Queen of Cups, and the Ten of Cups over here, because Odala is talking about separation and about you being able to recognize when certain things are coming to the end, when the old skin must be shed, realizing and seeing outdated relationships and the need for them to sometimes to be given up. And also is talking about sometimes drastical and radical separation, and also it's talking about the obedience and withdrawal whenever is necessary. It's talking about to know how and when you need to withdraw from certain situation or interaction with certain people. And it's talking also about the determination, and I think the Queen of Swords, it's kind of speaking the volumes, because she knows she's very determined to kind of draw to set her rules and lay the rules and draw the boundaries. So that is the additional commentary for you, Scorpio, for the January. As usually, it was immense pleasure to do the reading for you. Have a smashing month, and bye for now. If this reading has resonated with you, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. If you would like to book a private reading with me, please feel free to go to my website www.tarotwithmishka.co.uk, or alternatively you can email me at mishka@tarotwithmishka.co.uk. If you'd like to find me on Facebook, just simply type in Tarot with Mishka. I would like to say a massive thank you for tuning in, and bye for now.